It's the type of stuff I'm into, alright? Make sure you tune in. Let's go.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. So I would like to say something really quickly because for a while now we have been searching and real estate agent TaylaAndre was out here looking for a home for the Pum Pum Wash. And I would like to say publicly on air, Faith is this is the first time Faith is hearing this. She got 66A South Street. I'm so excited. So it's right near Forest Hills. You can get the Pum Pum Wash has a home. So we can't even talk about the breakout. I was going to say breakout session. We can't even talk about the coming out of or the unveiling or the grand opening. Not yet, because she doesn't even know. So we haven't even planned that yet. But as soon as I know something as far as a grand opening, you will know something as far as the grand opening, so we can celebrate the fact that the Pum Pum Wash has a home. And other time-sensitive, urgent news. Today we fight for our community's future, help put the unity back in community. We're here to fight for the training component through the People's Academy. 8 Old Roldan, 14 Ellington Street, Dorchester, Massachusetts, 02121. We need your support. Come out in full force. This is September 22nd. Boston City Hall, the 5th floor, City Council Chambers, and the Mayor's office at noon. In support of the People's Academy facility, which will enhance the community and its residents, versus the methadone clinic, which will have adverse effects. Reasons and benefits. Training men and women in the community, job creation with room for expansion and elevation, making residents employable, teaching leadership skills, restructuring high school dropouts and assisting individuals released from incarceration, which is a very Corey-friendly environment. We support the People's Academy. We support the People's Academy. We support T. Michael Thomas. We stand in solidarity with T. Michael Thomas. And on September 22nd at noon, I will be in City Hall asking our city officials why they haven't already been fighting for T. Michael Thomas, and why this is even before. Why is there a hearing? Why is there a hearing? If anything, this should be to solidify whatever space it is that he needs to do all of the things that they keep on itching and complaining that we need. Oh, we need training components. We need to train men and women in the community. We need job creation. We need to teach leadership skills. We need to help these dropout students and people that are released from incarceration that are not being able to get jobs because jobs aren't Corey friendly. Well, guess what? The People's Academy does all that. Where you been? John Barrow's entire job is to find T. Michael Thomas and put him up in whatever building he needs to help revitalize our communities as far as everything that we need. And T. Michael Thomas is doing it. Shout out to T. Michael Thomas. If you have any questions, any comments, if you need any help, please contact John at 617, and not John Barrows, 617-749-6306. Again, this is, or you can email him at john at wych.co. You can find the People's Academy Inc. group on Facebook, People's Academy Inc. group on Facebook. Again, that number is 617-749-6306. V from Tennessee, if you're online, please post that for me. In other news, because there's so much going on, I want to read local news real quick. New Hampshire campaigns get donations from drug companies. The reason why I think this is so important is because the people who are out here that have control over your politicians are not you. The people that are financing them, that are funding them, that are lining their pockets, who do you think they stand in solidarity with? You or that drug company that's spending $880 million on lobbying and political contributions over the past 10 years? Did you even donate $80? Did you donate 80 cents? Then guess what? Your voice most likely doesn't matter more than that $880 million in the last 10 years. Strengthen numbers, baby. Your numbers are the 880 million people. The 880 people to show up at a city hall meeting on September 22nd talking about the People's Academy. That's numbers. That's what gets people moving. It opens their eyes to, damn, we can't just take this money because now we have people to answer to. I know it's different. I know it's two different states. I know it's, but you don't think for 5 seconds that's happening here on the local level. You don't think this is happening when Barack Obama says, I know I did nothing for black people, but I still want you to vote for Hillary Clinton, or I'm going to be disappointed. I love you. I love you as a president. Thank you for being the first black man in office. Thank you for being what my grandmother needed to see before she died. Thank you. But don't think for 5 seconds I'm going to sit here and listen to this rhetoric of what we need to do in order to make you happy. What you did to make us happy? Taylor, you lowered gas prices. He helped the babies in school. Listen, I still got student loans. What you doing about that? I still have communities where my food cannot compare to the food that's being sold in Newton, where my water does not taste like the water. I'm sorry, is Detroit still going crazy right now? You want to talk about wars in the Middle East? In Northern Africa, there is no such thing as the damn Middle East. It's on the African continent. But that's neither here nor there. I don't care about your feelings. You ain't cared about my feelings. I ain't seen you do anything absolutely grandoso as far as these cop killings are concerned. As far as these civilians killed by cops are concerned. I'm not seeing anything that made me feel good. And now you want me to make you feel good? I'm good. I'm good. I'm so good. I'm so good. I could not believe that came out of my president's mouth. I'm really disappointed that came out of my president's mouth. I would be disappointed. Then I guess you finna be disappointed then. You finna be disappointed. In weird news, a powerful generation of X-Men superheroes, superhumans, will be here in less than 100 years, claims an expert. Within 100 years, there will be a broad array of superhumans. Enhancements could be used by either pharmaceuticals, bioelectrics, or genetics. Those who cannot afford the enhancements will be at a disadvantage. A robot uprising, if it happens, could pose a grave danger to society. Taylor, why the hell are you reading this crazy story? Levon just hit me up. I'll read that in 5 seconds, baby. A powerful generation of X-Men superhumans. So we're watching these movies and these shows and thinking, damn, like, I want superpowers. My kids say all the time, what would be your superpower if you could choose it? And they actually want to do a show on superpowers. I told them, great, come on. So we're going to do that next month on what your power would be if you were a superhuman. So I think it's really funny that this expert, who is a doctor, says that we could use enhancements, whether they're drugs, whether they're the drugs that make us think, and ADHD drugs that help us get work done. That's turning you into a superhuman, because you wouldn't have been able to do that had you not taken that pill. Whether it's bioelectrics, aka how many stories have we read about DARPA, the Department of Defense here in the United States, trying to test out whether or not or how to even connect a man to a machine so all he has to do is think and that machine starts moving. Or by genetics. How many stories have I read about, taking out this set of DNA sequences and adding this set of DNA sequences? I want them to have blue eyes. Well, I want my son to have muscles. I want my son to have, I'm sorry, it's no longer Freaky Friday. But either by genetics, altering DNA, bioelectrics, connecting yourself to computers or machinery, or by pharmaceuticals that enhance who you are and what it is that you're capable of doing. Just think about it, baby. Just think about it. We have an absolutely amazing guest. I'm going to pull her up in 8 minutes. She is so dope. So dope. As far as other stories are concerned, Europe's oldest mummy was shot from behind with an arrow before being finished off with a whack around the head. This is new research on the 5,300-year-old Alps corpse. The corpse is of a man that died 5,300 years ago that was discovered in 1991. Despite being found over 25 years ago, scientists are still learning more. The corpse's nickname is Otis, and was found on the Australian-Italian border. I am very interested to read about this. I'm going to do my own due diligence. I suggest you do the same. O-T-Z-I, Otizi, Otzi, in the Artizo Alps. It was mummified in the ice. It was later nicknamed Otizo after the Alps. Please do your due diligence. This 5-year-old mummy, 5,000-year-old mummy, it might as well be 5 years old. 5,000 years. Let me show you my mummy that about 25,000 years. A device exploded in New Jersey. You guys probably heard about this. The probe package.
This place has hot
They went
cakes.
ahead and was at
So why aren't
South
they selling
Station
like
seeing
hotcakes?
if there was
With
anything
Comcast Business
remotely
Internet and
close
Wi-Fi
here
Pro, they
in our
could
own
be. Just
state.
add a
One of the
customized
5
message to your Wi-Fi Pro
devices
so
found
that's
in a bag near
it's
New
more than just
Jersey train
Wi-Fi.
station
It can help grow
exploded
your
early
business.
Monday rising. As a bomb squad robot was trying to disarm it, leading investigators
Breaking
to
news this morning,
reassess
a
how they
device
dismantled
exploded
the
in
other
New
4
Jersey
devices
overnight.
and
One of 5
possibly
found near a
hampering the
train
Monday
station.
rising commute.
The
For those
blast,
traveling on the busy
just the
Northeast
latest in a
corridor
string of
and parts
frightening
of the New Jersey
incidents.
transit
Chelsea, New
system,
Jersey. Each blast under
reports of
investigation by the
suspicious
feds
bag
this
at
morning
Elizabeth
amid
Station
concerns of
in
a
New Jersey
possible
was the first
terrorist cell
reported Sunday
in
night.
our area.
Around the same time,
The worry for
FBI said
many
it
people
had
this
taken
morning,
5
the
people into
commute. A
custody
pair of
for questioning
investigations plus the
after a
UN General
traffic
Assembly will
stop
likely
on
leave
the
roads and rails
bridge.
a mess.
The FBI confirmed that at
Today, New York
8:45
starts now.
p.m.,
Good morning,
the traffic
everybody.
stop
It's
was part
Monday,
of an investigation into
September 19th.
Saturday's
I'm Darlene
bombing in
Rodriguez.
I'm
Manhattan that
Michael
injured
Gargiulo.
29
Crisimino is
people.
tracking the
The agency
rainstorms
said
moving
that the 5
into our area.
individuals that were taken
Later
into
this morning,
custody
we're going
are
to get to
from
Chris in just a
Elizabeth, New
moment.
First,
Jersey.
though, we're
None of
breaking
them have
format
been
to get straight
charged
to our
with crime,
breaking
and the
news. 5
investigation is
devices found in
ongoing.
Elizabeth, New Jersey
Police
last
and
night.
FBI
One
responded
that
to
went off
Elizabeth,
during the
New
bomb
Jersey
squad's
transit station after
investigation.
2
We
men
have team
found a
coverage of all the
suspicious bag
developments from New
around
Jersey to
8:30
Chelsea to
p.m.
that morning commute. We're going to
So
start, though, with
this
Today New
was
York's
sent to
Catherine
my
Egg. She
inbox,
is in
and
Elizabeth. Cat.
something that
Yeah,
Anonymous
and we
thought
have
was
police vehicles, emergency
hilarious was
vehicles
the
all around
fact
us, the
that
sheriff
nobody's
passing by
picture
us
was
right
put
here
up
of the
yet.
county. Well, at one
And
point, we were
Anonymous was
actually
like,
quite
Taylor,
close
you know
to
for a
all of those
fact
police
that those
vehicles
were
over there,
5
but we
black
have
men.
been
It would have
pushed
been a
back a
problem.
little
They would
bit.
have posted
Imagine
the
there was a
pictures.
backpack
If they were
containing
5
5
Muslims,
pipe
they would have
bombs, and
posted
actually
the
one of them
pictures.
went off when a police
No
robot
pictures
was
are
taking a
shown.
look at it.
Who do you think did it? Honestly, Manas know me. Manas know, but I will leave that
It
there
was
and we will
loud. It
follow the
actually made
reports.
police officers jump when they
Um,
heard it. The
The
Elizabeth mayor
Fraternal
says the
Order
bomb
of
squad
Police
robot was
endorses
cutting
Trump. So the
into the
Nanami,
device when it
the
exploded. This happened
Nanami,
just before
oh
1
Lord
o'clock in the
have mercy,
morning.
today is
2 men
Monday
digging
Rising,
through a
isn't it?
garbage can near the front door
Donald
of a
Trump has the full
popular bar
support
right
of the
here
nation's
near the NJ
largest
Transit
labor
Station in Elizabeth.
organization.
Saw
Chuck
wires and
Canterbury, the
pipes. We
national
are told
president
that
of
they
the
left
Fraternal Order of
that
Police,
backpack and they went
announced the
immediately to a
organization's
police station.
endorsement
And
of
the mayor
Donald
talked
J.
about again
Trump
what
for the
happened
office
when
of
the police
president.
robot
I
was
want
looking
you
at the
every time you
device.
see a damn police officer
One of
to
those
ask them, so
devices
do you support
was
Donald
being
Trump?
cut in order to
The
disarm it,
fraternal,
and
the
as you all heard, the
national
explosion
fraternal order
occurred.
of policemen.
Again, a very loud explosion, the
Question:
blast that happened just hours ago here,
did
the
you go
second
ahead and
one in New
question
Jersey
everybody
since
under your
Saturday
fraternal
morning
order
when
of
a pipe
police
bomb was found
while you
during a
over here
5K run
endorsing
in
somebody, or is it
Seaside
you and your
Park. The
personal
FBI,
feelings?
and you saw the
Our
Sheriff's
national
Department,
board and more
City
than
and State Police all involved
330,000
in
members
this
of the
investigation. And
FOP
Darlene and Michael, those 2
acquainted
men
themselves
who
with Mr.
found that
Trump's
backpack, again
survey
with 5 pipe bombs
in a
in it, they are
survey.
still being questioned, but we are told they
330,000.
don't believe, the police don't believe that they are connected with what happened here. Back to you, Darlene and Michael.
330,000. The FOP are Masons, says Levon. I don't care, baby. The Fraternal Order of Police are endorsing Donald Trump. President Barack Obama, can you tell me what exactly you're going to do about this? What I would like for him to do is to get behind John Fitzgerald Johnson. That would be in his best interest. That would make me feel secure. That would make me feel like I wouldn't be disappointed in my president if that's who he endorsed. But it's not about our feelings, huh? And it's not making people feel warm and fuzzy. I want to give a huge, huge, huge shout out to T.I. I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but there is a new line of revolution music. I said this when DJ Khaled's Oli 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 Key came out, when T.I. came out with We Will Not. And now he has a new song called Warzone, and in the video it tackles police brutality and it flips the script on some of the issues and some of the police shootings that we've seen. For instance, one of the first scenes is of a little white boy with his toy gun with the orange tip on it playing at a park. And the next thing you know, that little boy is dead. And I think it is absolutely amazing, the visual in this song, Warzone. If you haven't seen it, go on and Google it. Go on your title, take a look at it. I love it. I love it. Shout out to T.I. Shout out to this new line of revolution music. This ain't your grandma's revolution music. This ain't your mama's revolution music. But it's like, it's trap music with truth. And I'm loving it. So it's the top of the hour, and we have one of the most amazing females ever. She is a professional motorcyclist. Her name is Peggy. She is Mexican and Jamaican. She became the first woman of color in the world to win a professional motorcyclist event, winning at the NHRA Powerade Dallas in 2007. 2007. How many times do we talk about, first this and first that? In 2007, she was the first woman of color. I love it. I love it. Good rising, my love. How are you?
I'm doing good this morning. How are you?
I'm super fantastic, baby.
All right. Then that makes two of us.
Absolutely, absolutely. So please, can we get a little bit of background? Like, I recently got my motorcycle license, and I have to say that you are actually absolutely a component to that, because if you can do it, I can do it. Hashtag Black Girl Rock. I was scared to death to just, that little 550 to even sit on it. But for you to win, baby, I'm so excited. Can you please, let's go all the way back before you even had your license. What inspired you to jump on a motorcycle or to even want your motorcycle license?
Well, my dad, he's from Kingston, Jamaica. He came here to in 1967, and he has always loved motorcycles, owns a motorcycle shop, Southeast Cycles. And I didn't have dolls. I tell people this all the time. I didn't have dolls. I had motorcycles. I was riding a little Z50 that you had to, foot shift when I was 6 years old. So that's where it all started. And it's that as I got older, the bikes got, a little bit bigger and a little bit quicker.
Hey.
And then around, I'll say late 95, we were building, it was my younger brother who was racing, and I had kind of got out of the racing. And, I was just pit-cooing, and then, that racing bug bit me again. And so, I was asking my dad, I'm like, can you build me a motorcycle? And he was kind of blowing me off. He was, wouldn't pay me attention. So finally I'm like, no, Dad, I'm for real. I want to get back into racing. So that's where it all started, again. And then around 96, because NHRA never had any women racing in the pro motorcycle class, so 3 women were qualifying. So I called my dad. I said, that's my next goal, is to race NHRA pro stock motorcycle. I ended up going to the school to get licensed to ride those bikes, and they were a little bit different from what I rode. They just, would leave a little harder, but I got used to it because, racing on 2 wheels is in my blood.
Lord have mercy. So it was all blaming on your daddy, huh? How did your mother feel about this?
She wasn't too thrilled, but, come to find out, when she was pregnant with me, it was her and my dad on the motorcycle, when I was younger, she wanted to dress me up and, put on little earrings and your hair. And I'm like, it's going to mess it up and the necklace is getting in my way. So my dad was just like, just let her be. She'll be okay.
Lord have mercy. Baby, you know how gorgeous you are, right? You make women like you take away gender roles.
Funny you say that because when people see me, they're like, well, you don't look like a drag race. And I'm like, well, what are they supposed to look like?
Absolutely.
Or he or she, they'll say, oh, you're so dainty and, so small. I wouldn't say, oh, there goes a pro-stack motorcycle racer.
How many races have you won?
I've won one. And then just a lot of rounds in between to get that one race win.
So they're like qualifying races. Okay.
Qualifying races. So you have 2 qualifying passes on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and eliminations on Sunday.
That sounds like those sound like all individual races to me. That's how I would take it. How many races did you win? About 8. Because those qualify, that's still difficult.
Yes, and even the qualifying passes, you're always practicing for the elimination. So even if it's like, I won this round in qualifying. Yes, you won a round. It all counts towards the big picture at the end, which is a championship.
But aside from winning races or winning that one race and qualifying in the other ones, you also were named the Female Athlete of the Year.
Yes, I was. That was a great honor because that was aside from the racing. That was something totally different. That it was from Integrity Marketing Association, from their foundation. So that was from my peers outside of racing and just something in the community that I could share, and they saw my potential and my accomplishments, so I can share with the young girls out there that they're like, oh, I love riding motorcycles, what can I do? Well, you can end up doing this professionally if you want, or if you want to, you can also own the team. You can also be the woman that works on the motorcycles, because I wouldn't say I've worked on my motorcycle, but I know the components and the ins and outs of it. The basics, I'll say.
Well, you're further than the basics because we don't get it. We do not. We have no knowledge of. So one of the things, so I took a class in order to get my motorcycle license, and I was one of 3 women in the class, but the only one to pass. What? Congratulations. Thank you, baby. Thank you. I was so proud. So proud. I really was, and I was determined, and sometimes it takes you 2 or 3 times to do something, but it was on my first go round, and I love being on a bike. And I love that freeing feeling. What is your favorite thing about being a motorcyclist?
I think I like the competition aspect of it and the riding, because I like when and I'm going to get technical with explaining, because when I'm doing my burnout and I'm staging a bike, and to drop that clutch, that's the most wonderful feeling ever. And the bike sets you back, and you're shifting through the 6 gears, and you don't realize that you're going that fast. And that's the best feeling in the world. And too bad it only lasts 6 seconds.
I may not be technical, but I do understand what you mean by shifting the gears and having that weight pushed back on you, and you pushing back on it for the next gear and the next gear. And how long does a race last? Or how long, when you race and when you have those competitions, how long do those last, and what kind of training do you have for that? Because we know, like, as far as Olympics are concerned, they train every day, all year round. How long do you have to train for, and when is the next competition?
I train, I would say, during the off season, right before the season starting, I do a lot of cardio, a lot of upper body strength training. But even during the races, which last a weekend, so you fly into the race on my Thursday evening, qualifying Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But in between, the qualifying round, and even, when I get to the race, I try and do a lot of practice runs, just mentally, and I do some cardio just to, I might get on the treadmill or whatnot, just to take the edge off, kind of, the nerves. And I had a good coach that teaches me as far as the mental runs, just going through your runs, not even, just sitting. I could be, right before I make a qualifying run, sitting in my transporter and making, just going through the gears, going through the motions, because that's something that was taught to me, that your mind doesn't know that, oh, you're on a motorcycle for real or you're not. So that helps, that whenever you get up there and you have butterflies, which is always the first qualifying pass, actually, and it just helps you just to calm down and, get those butterflies under control. And it's like, as soon as the bike starts, I'm on autopilot.
And it seems so natural from there.
That's what helps with that, yes, to make it natural, to where you're not nervous and thinking about everything. Everything's just, natural.
I get it. So your first win, and I say your first win because I know there are many more to come, baby. In your first win, it was in 2008. 2007. That's almost 10 years ago. 10 years ago, like, as far as putting ourselves in that mindset, putting ourselves in that environment, 10 years ago, we weren't as open to women being in fields that men dominated. 10 years ago, we weren't as accepting as we are for women to cross those gender lines. 10 years ago, we weren't okay with Peggy being on a bicycle racing. What trials, what tribulations, what people telling you who you are, did you ever have to go through that? Or because we know Jamaicans have all the pride in the world, and you can't tell a Jamaican anything about themselves, but were there any times where you felt as if, maybe I shouldn't take this route, or maybe I need to go sit down somewhere, maybe I need to change professions? Was there ever a time that you questioned yourself or doubted yourself?
I think before I started racing, wanted to race professionally, I did have, naysayers, I did have doubters, and, because I was a woman out there racing. And, it was my dad, the prideful Jamaican, right? He was like, no, if this is what you want to do, you can go out there and do it. He goes, and yes, if everything were easy, guess what? Everyone would do it. And so he supported me a lot along the way. And, as far as, the funding, that's always been something that's kept me off the track a lot. But to where it's like, well, maybe I shouldn't continue to pursue this, but, it's in me, and I'm a Capricorn, and we're determined. So, we might, get we might slow down a little bit, but we're not going to stop, trying to go for our goals.
We had this conversation last week about the signs, and one of our callers called in talking about Capricorns are the alpha and omegas. We start and end the year, and we have the same birthday sign as Jesus. So
There you go. That being said, that's why, and I have fans, and I have young girls that are like, Peggy, this is what I want to do. I've seen you do it, and I see how even in the face of trials and tribulations you keep on pushing, and we want to get there one day, and we are, and that's another reason that I do it as well.
Hashtag
Leave a legacy, and have the door open for another, champion. I don't want to be, yes, I was the first, but I don't want to be the only one.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's talk to some of these young girls, because you've been in many magazines, speaking of yourself and your success, Heart and Soul magazine, Sports Illustrated, Dragster magazine, Essence, as well as Latina Style, Decisive, Black Girls Ride. I didn't even know that was a magazine, but I'm interested. Black Girls Ride, and Our Heritage magazine, and you were also featured in 2012 on BET's Black Girls Rock. So those who don't know, like, you've been out here for a while, inspiring and uplifting. And let's talk to these little girls that don't have the father you had, and don't have the supportive mother that you have. How do you, take that step and say, this is really out of the box and nobody else is going to support me for this, but Peggy said, so I'm going to go ahead and do.
Peggy said, if you're determined, sometimes you're going to have to stand alone. But you have to be strong, because adversity, it's not meant to break you down. It's meant to build you up, so you can be an example, always be an example, and that's something that I, always strive to be.
I have a question here on Facebook that's asking, what is the difference between drag racing and other forms of racing? Like,
A quarter mile. So they're going to time you in a quarter mile, and it's you and another competitor. And we just go straight. We're not turning, we're not, down a winding road or anything. It's just a straight quarter mile.
And that's why your personal best is 6.9.
Yes.
Because it's a quarter mile. So, I understand. Have you ever considered NASCAR racing?
No. It's always been motorcycles for me.
Only motorcycles?
To NASCAR race, but no, it's always been motorcycles. For me, that's my preference.
So I would like to challenge you, baby. I would like to challenge you. So we had, in the past, we had an amazing guest, such as yourself, who was the first female African-American NASCAR owner. And I would challenge you to link up, and maybe, just maybe, we could see you in a NASCAR? Maybe, possibly? She's like, no, Tayla, that's not happening.
Possibly. Stranger things have happened.
I would like to see you. I would love to see you behind the wheel. Well, actually, what I would like to do is I'd like to race you. You'd win already, hands down. You'd win.
I don't know. That determination.
Which I do have, but I'm scared, Peggy. Like, listen, I go a good 50 miles an hour. I'm like, okay, it's time to slow down now. Like, downshift.
Cycle license. That was the first, you got over the hump. You got your license. you're not scared. It's just the challenge.
It is the challenge. So you've been on a bicycle for how? Not a bicycle, a motorcycle. You've been riding motorcycles for how long?
Oh, motorcycle since I was 7 years old.
Okay. Now, with that being said, 7 months ago, I got on a motorcycle. So can we walk through and talk about how to build it? Because we have a lot of women riders here in Boston. We have a huge, bike club in Boston, and we have a female sect of a bike club. It's all girls in the bike club. And there's many of us out here that want to be a part of these clubs and want to, establish ourselves, but we can't go over 35 miles an hour. So, and I know it's not just me. I know I'm not the only scary one. So how do we get, as far as safety is concerned, as far as feeling safe on a bike and remaining safe, especially in intersections, because we know those are the most dangerous times.
Most dangerous. And, for the record, because while, I am under contract, we can't ride on the street.
Hold on, are you serious? At all? Never?
Never. Because of that, it's more dangerous on the street than it is on the racetrack. Believe it or not, because you're on the racetrack, it's a controlled area. It's just you and another competitor. And then, if something happens, there's safety safari. On the highways, on the streets, there's not that, that's you and everybody else. And no one is going to see a motorcyclist, and it is more, I wouldn't say more dangerous, but it's just the potential is there.
But hold on, I don't understand this, because if you are proficient in racing, that in a sense, just like, when you have to go to school for defensive driving because you're behind, can't drive, does that not give you more, aren't you not more proficient than anybody else on the road? Don't you know how to navigate yourself? Why wouldn't they allow you? So, for the past 10 years, you haven't been able to ride on the road.
While I'm under contract with whatever team. When I'm not on contract, then you can do, you can ride on the street. But I'm more proficient because I'm a professional racer, but everyone else isn't. Everyone else on the road, because there's been situations where I'm, riding along, and there'll be someone that just, they didn't see you, they went to go change lanes, and then I'm having to react to it. So yes.
Lord have mercy. That sounds so unfair. Because I'm proficient, I can't ride on the road because y'all idiots can't drive. That doesn't, because y'all can't drive.
But I do suggest the clubs and the groups that it's better to, I prefer riding in a group. I remember a couple of years ago I did a breast cancer ride with Divas for a Cure up in New Jersey, and it was my first motorcycle ride, and that's when I felt safe, because it's a whole lot of motorcyclists, a whole lot of bikers. It's a group of us, so. That was one thing that if you're going to ride on the street, that's my suggestion.
To always ride within a group. Okay.
That's pretty neat.
No, it's amazing. As a rider, to see motorcycle after motorcycle after motorcycle, and the different the different tire sizes and the different bodies and the different colors.
Yes, the paint job. Oh, it looks so good. And then, women riders, we're not, we're not on the back of our boyfriend or our husband's motorcycle. We have our own.
I think that is so sexy. Yes.
Painted, it's matching helmet. Oh yes, the whole thing. It's fabulous. It's wonderful.
So do you have, okay, so when you're not under contract, can you give us a visual of what your bike looks like when you get to like just freelance, just get on your bike and just, ride cross country type style riding?
You know what? I don't have anything that I ride or own, but I do have something that my dad has that he's always had. It's old school. It's a 1979 Kawasaki, and it's like this lime green color. Just, nothing fancy. No, it's not lowered. Or not, it's just original.
Hold on. You said a what? A 19 what?
79 KZ 900 Kawasaki.
So I'm over here just Googling it. Oh, Peggy, are you serious?
And probably what you brought up probably looks like, oh, but this one is like it was painted. I don't know why he picked lime. Oh, I know why he picked lime green. And then, and it's loud, so that way people can hear me.
When is the last time you rode street riding?
It's been a couple of, I'll say like a year.
Baby, I don't know how you do that.
Do it often, but yeah, it's been about a year.
Have you ever had a boyfriend on the back of your bike?
No.
Sergio said that's a classic bike. I would like, come on, Peggy. You ain't never tried to have a dude like, get on the back. I got you.
I got you. Don't worry.
Don't
I
worry.
even tried sweet talking, but no, he wasn't having it. I'm like, okay.
What about racing and just cycling as a whole? What would you suggest to any females that ever considered getting their motorcycle license and had whatever reservations that they had? What would you say to those women that are just like, dude, I think it's...
Just want to get a motorcycle license just to ride, just to have?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I would tell them any reservations, that's natural because they're going to be trying something new. And I would tell them to go to a motorcycle school that will just teach them like step by step so they can take that fear and put it into, removing it. And just be open to the challenge. It can be done. It's freeing and it's fun, and it can be done.
And don't be scared. Just do it, baby. Just do it.
The drag racing school that I attended in Florida, we had, I think there was 2 or 3 women in that class that had motorcycle license that raced, but never raced that type of motorcycle. And it was amazing to me to see them, progress. And the class was only 2 days. And, they started off slow, even on this powerful motorcycle, just at their speed. And they were nervous and, kind of fearful, but by the end of the class, you know, they were happy. They felt accomplished. So
do what you gotta do, baby. Get over your fear, because it won't last that long.
do it anyway. Yes, it won't. It won't. And once you get over that fear, you're like, I've done it. Look, I did it. Yep.
So for those who don't know, please tell them who we're on the line with, baby.
This is Peggy Llewellyn, the first woman of color to win a national event in the NHRA.
AKA this baby is a drag racer. AKA Need for Speed. Hashtag get on the back of my bike. I'd like to take a quick break and thank our sponsors. Shout out to ZC Boston. I'm going to be bartending at ZC Boston on Thursday, and that is so you guys can come out and get you your free appetizers. You get a drink, and with your drink, you get your free appetizers. So come out to ZC Boston on Thursday, 801 Mass Ave. Free parking, free delivery. Food is amazing. Only place that I will eat Chinese food at because it's chicken and not rat. Do not forget on Saturday, Dr. Claude Anderson, Dr. Umar Johnson will be at the Strand Theater. You can buy tickets online for $30, or you could wait until the day of the event. Tickets will be more at the door, and I'm really excited because I can't wait for us as Bostonians to understand the power that we have financially when it comes to our children's education. And I think this is the conversation that we need to have. I personally feel as if our politicians are dancing around some of the issues that we have. But I love the fact that not just Dr. Umar Johnson, Claude Anderson, but also the other individuals that have come into the city to help us have discussions that we cannot have with our local politicians because they refuse to have them with us. This Saturday, doors open at 1 p.m. We have some of the most amazing vendors, some of the most amazing artists. Event starts at 3, ends at 7. Doors will be open until 10 p.m. Please come. Please, if you see me, give me a hug. Also, this is the first time she is hearing this. Faith got the 66A South Street place. I'm so excited as her real estate agent to say that Faith has her building. The Pum Pum Wash has a home. So if you know Faith, can you please tell her to tune in, chime in, call in, because she got her building, and I'm so happy for my baby. And if you need help finding your building, give me a call, 617 282-0062. Do not forget Medwell Health. If you tell them TaylaAndre sent you, they will give you $25 off your medical marijuana card. 820 Pearl Street, Brockton, Massachusetts, 774-715-5195. Last but not least, time-sensitive urgent matter. Today we fight for our community's future. Help put the unity back in community. We're here to fight for the training component through the People's Academy, 8 Old Road and 14 Ellington Street, Dorchester, Mass. 02121. We need you to come out in full support September 22nd. September 22nd. We need you. And this is at Boston City Hall, 5th floor of the City Council Chambers. The Mayor's office at 12 noon in support of the People's Academy facility, which will enhance the community and its residents versus a methadone clinic, which will have adverse effects. John Barrow's entire job is to find organizations like the People's Academy to help train men and women in the community, to help job creation with room for expansion and elevation, to make residents employable, to teach leadership schools, to restructure high school dropouts and assist individuals released from incarceration, because the People's Academy is a Corey-friendly environment. I support the People's Academy. I suggest you support the People's Academy and come out September 22nd at 12 noon to Boston City Hall. If you have any questions, please follow them on Facebook. Supporters of the People's Academy Inc. group, as well as giving John a call at 617-749-6306. We currently have a call on the line. Good rising, caller. You're live.
Good comments.
How, you know, I already, this is the second time I'm reading this. because I already know how important this is. I know how important it is to have the People's Academy at 8 Old Road and 14 Ellington Street versus having a methadone clinic in the middle of the hood. Like, I know how important this is, and I know how important it is for us to show up in record numbers, for us to be at City Hall, for us to have our voices heard, and for us to speak on behalf of the things that we want. And for those who cannot make it out, need to go ahead and give a call into their city councilor's office, need to give a call into the mayor's office, need to give a call into 311 and say, I support the People's Academy. It's easy, it's simple, we need you.
Taylor, the problem is that particular building are in Councilor Andrew Campbell's district. Councilor Jackson has written a support letter. Councilor Presley, Baker, Anissa George, even Flaherty. Councilor Andrew Campbell are telling folks that the majority of the community supports the clinic opposed to having supporting the People's Academy.
That's a lie. Who said that? Who's told that lie?
Andrea Campbell. Now there is a woman who has called Councilor Campbell called her back. She's going to write a small affidavit, and we're going to pass it on in Andrea Campbell's own words, saying that the community does not support the People's Academy over the health center. And it was disappointing to get a meeting and hear this woman who said that. She said the councilor did it. She's going to put it in writing, her conversation. But like you said, the time is up. This is the final week before the Department of Neighborhood makes that decision. So we need folks also to call Councilor Campbell's office, because the 8 Old Road and Ellington Street is her district. We need and we want this training component opposed to their own clinic, period.
So why exactly, do you know why Andrea Campbell is stating that the community wants the methadone clinic in the middle of the hood rather than the training component of the People's Academy? Was there any fact that she had? Were there any basis behind her? Were there any of her constituents that were like, put that methadone clinic in the hood, boo, that's what we want?
Well, what she is saying, she's even said it to me, but I gave you the signatures of the abutting neighbors saying that they want this component here. Let's see what the health center, did they go out to the community? Did they do door knock to all the abutting neighbors and more? The People's Academy did. The health center did not. So if the neighbors are saying, we support this, it will benefit our kids and our kids' kids, and the health center did not, you would think she would do the same as the other elected officials and say, oh, okay, we will support you. They put it in writing. She refuses to.
My last question to you, Michael Thomas, who's paying her? What was that, your evil laugh? No, in all seriousness, who's paying her? Because if the people who are the abutters, and for those who don't know what an abutter is, that's people who own property or live on the property, on or around where the People's Academy or the methadone clinic will be. So there is either going to be a methadone clinic or the People's Academy located at 8 Ellington Old Road. 8 Old Road or 14 Ellington Street, right there where they meet. It's either going to be a methadone clinic or the People's Academy. It's either going to be where a whole bunch of people who can damn near stand up and keep their eyes open, or it's going to be where we can start opening our youth's eyes to knowing that they can make and have their own job creation. So it's all up to us. And we can't sit here and itch and complain at a later date that we got drug addicts all over the place when we're not showing up. And I understand that you have work, baby. I understand you can't get off, baby. I understand. But you can pick up the phone and you can call 311. You can go on your Twitter and tweet Andrea Campbell and ask her who told her we want a methadone clinic in the middle of the hood.
Component. Taylor, I don't want to tie it to one, but thank you as always. It's very important, folks. this Thursday at noontime, 5th floor, which is the 22nd at City Hall. This is the final stamp before the decision is made who the city will sell the land to, whether it's for the clinic or for the training component with People's Academy. Please come out. If you can't make it, send someone. We need to pack the place in. Thank you.
Hold on. One more thing, T. Michael Thomas. I would like for you to reach out to Sonia Chang Diaz, Senator Sonia Chang Diaz. Can you do that for me? Can you reach out to Senator Sonia Chang Diaz's office today and get somebody on the line and speak to somebody about coming out in support for the 22nd?
Try. I have tried in the past, but I will try again with an aide, Anthony Thomas. I've tried several times. Every time I see him, I need to talk to the senator, and I will try again.
Okay, so if you have any time today, can you kick down her door and say, I'm here, and I'm T. Michael Thomas, and I need to speak to you? All right, and I'll go ahead and tweet her and let her know to get in contact with you. How can we just need to come out September 22nd. We don't need to call. We don't need to email. We don't need to do anything as far as T. Michael Thomas is concerned. You have our full support. I do not want a methadone clinic in the middle of the hood. And for those who don't know where 8 Old Road and 14 Ellington, can you please tell us, give us a visual of where that is?
When you come up, it's in the back of Stashes, which is on Columbia Road and Blue Hill Ave. The old service garage is a bus stop right there. Imagine we have that training component that our kids and our kids can go to. There are other clinics. There are other health centers in our community. There are no training component, especially for the men and women, boys and girls, high school dropouts, are not in the military, are not geared for college, going in and out of incarceration, turn into the streets for opportunities. Well, let's teach them a trade that they can go to any city, any state, get a job for over $40+ an hour, employable, not get gentrified. People's Academy, show up, City Hall, the 22nd at noontime, 5th floor. Thank you.
Hold on, I just got a message. You can remain anonymous. Anonymous said that I'm giving misinformation because it won't be a methadone clinic. It will be a health center.
And chicken have lips.
What? What?
See what that meant?
And chickens have lips. That's what you said, chickens have lips?
It's not what they're saying it is. Anonymous, then chickens have lips.
Alright then, shots fired. He said it is not a health center, it's a methadone clinic that's going to be literally right in the middle of the hood.
Well, I'll tell you what. Look at the head of the Mike Curry on an interview when I called him, and he said, well, Google his work, and also what the Council Campbell have said. Don't take my word for it. Look at what the head of the NAACP said, what he supports, and why he supports it. Okay?
Thank you, T. Michael Thomas. Do not forget to make sure you give Andrea Campbell a call today. Ask her who told her we want a methadone clinic and a meth clinic. I'm tweeting her right now. Clinic in Dorchester. Who told you that? Because I don't remember saying that. And right behind Stashes, shout out to Levon. Levon said, define health. Define health. Truth of the matter is, it might be a health clinic. A health clinic for those that have addiction issues with meth. It's a meth health clinic. How about that? People's Academy, T. Michael Thomas, you know I'm in full support. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break so we can get Peggy back on the line. My apologies. And it is crazy, Levon, to have a meth clinic right in the middle of the hood. Like, I think that's completely insane because the truth of the matter is there's a damn school less than 250 feet down the street. If it ain't about the money, shout out Gloria. I love me some Miss G. You're absolutely right. Who paying Andrea Campbell? That's why we needed to keep, what's the name, is in office. Everybody wanted somebody brand new, and what you gonna get is a whole bunch of brand new Dorchester, Roxbury, and Mattapan. Boom! Shots always fired. Andrea, as a black woman, baby, I love you and I respect you. But for you to sit here and have no truth and no basis and no facts and no signatures behind the fact that we, the people, want on where Blue Hill and Columbia Road meet, for you to sit here and say that we want a meth clinic at that intersection, you done lost your ever-loving mind. And that girl, I would love for you to go ahead and consider whether or not you want her up for re-election. You want her to hold that seat. Be mindful of decisions that are made during the time that they are sitting in that seat getting your tax dollars, because those decisions affect you, and they will affect your children as well. My babies go to stashes and go pick up pizza on a regular basis. My kids walk around that area on a regular basis. On a regular basis. My babies are there. And you think for 5 seconds that I want a meth clinic in the middle of Blue Hill and Columbia Road? If it ain't about the money, I love me some Miss G. Good rising, Callie alive.
Hello, good morning. How are you guys doing?
I'm well.
I have a question. I thought like a meth clinic supposed to be in an area where they have the most meth overdose. I never heard of meth really be in our neighborhood.
So you think maybe it should be in Framingham or Newton or Natick?
Yes.
Me too. I totally agree. Because
it's supposed to be where it's needed. If there's no facts that
I'm with you, Tuan. I'm with you.
Multiple of meth overdose. Why would it be in our area? You mean people who are coming from Natick and Framingham and wherever they're coming from in the suburbs to our neighborhood?
Speak on it, baby. Speak. I don't have the answers. I'm not swayed. But speak on it, because this is the truth. A meth clinic should be where it needs to be. And that is right there across from BMC with all the rest of the zombies. They need to, honestly, but the hood people don't OD on meth, though. We got other problems.
Yeah, if they say, okay, let's have a quote-unquote B clinic, you can say, okay.
I got you, Mama. I got you. You know, the truth of the matter is, call 311. June said the signatures that were given that were against, do you think she'll use them for her purposes? I really don't know, but Andrea Campbell is somebody that we definitely need to reach out to. I want to give a shout out to, we'll call her Anonymous for now. I was in a community meeting last week in Mattapan about what services are lacking in communities of color. I was the speaker in my focus group and did bring up the training school. I asked if folks have heard about that and why we need to support it. I am hoping to be in attendance on the 22nd. No meth clinic in the hood. We need to stand for something, baby, or we're going to fall for anything. And I don't know who paying Andrea Campbell, but she fell for something. Good rising, caller. Shut your radio off for me, baby. What's going on? Takwa, I need a favor. I called you yesterday. Call me back at 7:15.
Okay, I will. Listen, couple of things, just by way of clarification, right? It's not a meth clinic you're proposing, it's a methadone clinic. Methadone is just a substitute high for heroin. And
ain't that a meth clinic? Hold on, no. Ain't that a meth clinic, though?
Methadone is the substitute drug that they give heroin addicts so that they won't get dope sick. But I mean, potato, it's still the same thing. You know, what we have now, I've never seen so many white junkies in the black neighborhood in my life. The collateral damage for the counterintelligence program assault on the black community with that drug. So now that it's affecting them, you know, now it's a problem. But they're dumping their trash in our neighborhood. Oh, no, let me say that the politically correct way. If we have a methadone clinic in the residential neighborhood right next to a school, it will create more vagrancy in our neighborhood that we don't need. We would be much better off with that training component that really vagrancy that we already have with our own people. So I really would like to know if there is a process for recall elections in the Boston political. That
Shots fired. Shots fired.
They used to be recalled, and somebody else used to put in that seat. I live right down the street from there, and I am vehemently opposed to any such thing in our neighborhood. We need that training component, and we don't need that city council to be in that office.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Man down. Do you like your seat? How about you start representing the people that put you there? And I don't think they want a meth clinic, a methadone clinic, a place where people can go to get a synthetic high, and we're going to have all types of everything sleeping in the damn park across the street. True or false? Because they sleeping all over. I'm not even going to lie. Let me be transparent. A lot of people don't want to frequent ZC Boston because of the zombies that are out front. But they're out front, baby. I entered through the back. So, I don't have to deal with that. But in all honesty, like, if you go there at any point in time, all you do is see people half asleep, all types of contorted and everything else. I'm like, why? Why? And there's none of us are congregating in those spaces. I can't tell you how I wanted to take a little baby from somebody. Is that a drug-free zone because it's a school? You absolutely right. Is that a drug-free zone because it's about 100 feet, 250 feet? I'm a little slow as far as metrics are concerned. I know it's right down. I know I can see the school from where the component will be. The training component, we're going to go on and speak it into existence. T. Michael Thomas is going to get that space where Columbia Road meets Blue Hill Ave behind Stashes. It's not going to be a methadone clinic. We're not going to have zombies out there in the middle of the hood getting their fix, getting their high, and then sleeping at our zoo. It's not going to happen. We're going to have young, nice men and women getting their information, getting their education, and getting paid for it at the same time. September 22nd at 12 noon, City Hall. We are not condoning a methadone clinic. If you can't make it out, 311 is your best friend. Tell Mayor Marty Walsh we want Andrea Campbell to, baby, you don't need to take no seats. Please get up so we can find somebody else who wants to sit in your seat, who wants to fight for the people that she's supposed to represent. 617. Where Andrea Campbell at? Do you know her? Can you send her a text message? Can you tell her to call us? Because maybe we have the facts wrong. Maybe we're not spewing out the truth. Maybe she really didn't say that. 617-282-0062. Please, Andrea Campbell, give us a call. Help us understand who exactly told you we want a methadone clinic on Blue Hill and Columbia Road. I'll wait. Good rising, caller, you're live.
Hey, good morning. I called before. My question is, okay, they have a health center right there. What are they going to do with that? Anonymous person said it's going to be a health center, so what they're going to do is the health center is right there. They're going to have two, like 50 feet apart.
I love you. I love you. I love you. I wish I could hug you. I love you. Because for those who don't know, there is a clinic directly across the street. Directly across the street.
Not even a good 50 yards.
Thank you, baby. I love and appreciate you. Feel free to call back if you want. If you have another thing you would like to pull up. Where Andrea Campbell at? 617. Shut your radio off for me, baby. 617-282-0062. Baby, shut your radio off. Good rising, caller, you're live. Good rising.
What do we need another methadone clinic for?
I love you, Miss G. I love you, Miss G. I love you, Miss G. Please say it again. Can somebody call Andrea Campbell and tell her to call me?
They got methadone clinics. I used to have a ride that used to take me to the hospital, and every ride that I was in,
nobody told her that. She a damn fool.
They had to start at a methadone clinic and take people in there and let people come back out and all that stuff. And anyways, I got a problem with that because there's enough methadone clinics around. when I met with Marty Walsh in this building, in the city council and etc., I said enough that they know that I don't appreciate them at all. And I feel like People's Academy is the place that people can go and get some constructive, something to do with their lives, to construct their lives. And methadone, I wanted to debate Takwa on it because methadone is also used for methamphetamine, and also they use it for crack. I don't know why, but anyways, it's used for a lot of different drugs. When they should have more mental health clinics out there.
Get it, Miss G. Get it. Baby, you know I love you and appreciate you, and I can't wait to wrap my arms around you. You coming on Saturday, Miss G?
Hi, but I'm super pissed at what I'm hearing about a man that's trying to put a program in effect for the young adults in the city, and every time he turns, there's something that they try to shut him down, and that's wrong. That's really wrong. I want to come. I'm so vocal, they can't stand me. They don't want me there.
Oh, they don't want me here either, baby. They don't. Anybody who has a voice.
And when they came into this building, I was like so negative that they just wanted to get away from me. And Mike Walsh knew who I was when he walked in my building. So let me say that I don't get a good reception wherever I go.
It's okay, Miss G. You want to know what? When they hate you, you doing the right thing. You doing the right thing, Miss G.
Yeah, I don't care. You know what? As long as I'm heard, I don't care.
And that's my baby. That's Miss G. Miss G been around the block a few times, baby. She know what this is about. She knows about advocacy. Shout out to Anonymous. Ask the mayor if he wants a clinic in his neighborhood since he's in recovery. He should know all the people. Damn, shots fired. I didn't say it. I just read the comments. I'm just here for the comments. 617-282-0062. Go rise and call you live.
So, Rise and Dale, how you doing?
I'm super fantastic, baby. How you want a methadone clinic or you want the People's Academy?
I want the People's Academy, but I also want to thank you all for bringing this to our attention. And I want the people to rise up because, like Brother Takwa said, this is another situation of that counterintelligence to lure our community with the BS, whether it's the drugs or the effed up people. And like you said, your children walk around, my children walk around, we walk around, and these people are not from our community. So their parents have kicked them out, so we don't want this crap here, let's put it down there. So we do have to stick together, write the letters, make the phone calls, and stand out if we can to prevent something like this from continuing to happen. Because it's just gonna continue to migrate its way up.
I love you, baby. Thank you so much. 617-282-0062. Shout out to Tanya. Love you, baby. She said, we need disability clinics as well. She needs to look into the data of the city as far as Andrea Campbell, because T. Michael Thomas called up here and said Andrea Campbell went ahead and told everybody that we the people, we the constituents of Andrea Campbell want a methadone clinic. We don't want the People's Academy. Tanya said she needs to look into the data in the city, and if she did, she would see that the neighborhood needs. We don't have meth data. We don't have. We just have data supporting that she needs what she needs and trying to create a demand. Sergio said they are setting it up for children to be in danger. I don't appreciate a methadone clinic in our neighborhoods. Neither do I. So what we're going to do is we're going to call 311 and we're going to tell the mayor that we don't appreciate it, we don't want it, and we are going to show up and show out on the 22nd and give them our account of what we actually want, and that is the People's Academy. We have some more calls on the line. I'm going to go ahead and pull up Andrea Campbell's phone number so you can go ahead and flood those lines today. How about that? Because I already tweeted her. I'm waiting for somebody to have her give us a call back because I want to talk to her personally. If you know Andrea Campbell, can you please make that happen? Even if it's not on air. I will try and go down to her office today and see what I can do. And speak to her and get some, maybe she didn't say it. maybe we're jumping the gun here. Maybe she did not say we want a meth clinic. Maybe T. Michael Thomas is lying. Maybe chickens do have lips. Good rising, caller, you're live.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
What I was saying was I don't live in the area. I live in Randolph, but and I'm not even sure what school is in that area. Would you guys be able to reach out to the school and have the school advocate for the training program and push back against that? Because doesn't it pose an immediate threat to the children if they have to walk through?
You would think, huh? You would think.
Right. So if you have the school get behind it and say, we're having these problems, X, Y, and Z, we can't do that. It's not wanted. I think the school would have a really powerful voice. So if anyone knows, the principal, the superintendent, I think that would be a good idea. And also, where are you guys meeting up for Saturday?
We are linking up Saturday at the Strand Theater for Dr. Umar Johnson, Dr. Claude Anderson. Yes. Oh, yay. I want a hug, baby. I love hugs.
All right.
Thank you. So, all right, we need to reach out to the school. We need to reach out to Andrea Campbell. Her number is 617-635-3131. 617-635-3131. Her email is andrea.campbell@boston.gov. Andrea.campbell@boston.gov. That is spelt, phonetically, ANDREA.Campbell, CAMPE, wow, dyslexia, CAMPBELL @boston.gov. So I went ahead and sent a tweet out. I'm going to go ahead and post this information as far as her phone number is concerned, as far as her email address is concerned. We're going to go ahead and take this other call, 617-282-0062. Do you want the People's Academy or do you want a meth clinic? Good rising, caller, you're live. It's you, baby. Good rising. Hello, baby. Hi, good rising. Do you want a meth clinic or the People's Academy? Hold on, baby. Do you have us on speakerphone under the water?
Yeah.
Okay, shut your radio off. Maybe take us off Bluetooth.
No, I'm not. Okay,
okay, I would love to hear what you have to say. I just can't hear you. Okay, thank you, baby. Good rising, caller, you're live. Good rising, caller, you're live. Baby. Good rising, caller, you're live. Can you hear me, my love? Okay, you're live. Go ahead, baby.
What about the zoo? You can reach out to the zoo and say, well, these people could be sleeping in your parking lot.
And scaring all the white folks away from going to the zoo that be packed Monday through Friday.
The golf course, the golf course is there. People walk early in the morning around the golf course. All those type of activities that people, do early in the morning. All the little comforts you have just to clear your mind before you go to work. Nobody don't want to see that early in the morning.
You know what? I love the fact that you keep calling. Call us back if you get any more ideas. It's Good rising, caller, you're live.
Hello, how you doing? This is Javon Lissette. How you doing, Taylor?
Hey, Javon Lissette, how are you, baby? Suck passe.
Please understand, folks, this matter goes beyond Andrew Campbell. Andrew Campbell may be the problem in this case. What you said on the air is what she said, that we want it, and we know we do not want that medical clinic. The issue is also we have at-large city council too. All these at-large, 4 of them, they're also responsible for that district. And the biggest problem, folks, is the mayor. The mayor did the same thing on River Street, down the street from Ryan Playground, where I live on Cedar Street. We had a meeting, everybody in the meeting, 99% of the people said we didn't want a pre-release where people come from jail into a drug rehab program. They put it about 400 yards down from a playground. This is a mayor's game. The city councilors, they have no power over this mayor. We need a new mayor in 2017, and some of these city councilors do need to go for it. They've been there for too long. Let's have some changes around there, people. Go out and vote.
And they could have voted for Javon Lissette, but what happened to that?
They didn't show up and vote. I'm a United States Marine Corps veteran, former Boston police officer, 19-year practicing attorney, running in a district that's 87% people of color. My people of color did not show up and vote. You know what? We know showed up and vote. The other folks from our Cedar Grove, Polk Hill area, they showed up and voted, and they won. They allowed somebody young who has no life experience. I have more education. They always say in order for us to get positions, we have to be 3-4 times better. I was 6 times better, 10 times better than this person that can cover it, but I'm supposed to be able to show up and vote. Hopefully they show up and vote in September 2018, because we're going to go again. But I like what you're doing. Folks need to come out and do contact Andrew Campbell, but also please contact your city councils at large, and also contact the mayor's office. And everybody doesn't know this star 311, so you can also call the old number. It still works. 617-635-4500. That's the number. It's the same thing as star 311. A lot of people's system, some forms can't do the star 311. Thank you very much for what you're doing. The people got to stop voicing their opinion. Vote and because otherwise, this is just going to be the beginning. All right? Come on. I mean, people need to just do what they do. I mean, you will die so we can have a voice. And these folks are not voicing their opinion. They're not voting. They're not doing so many things. They're just going about their everyday business. We need to do more than that.
Javon Lissette, what did you run for, baby?
State representative of the 12th Circuit State Representative, which covers Madison, Dorchester, Hyde Park, and Powder Milton, and a small little section of Rosedale. Look out for me in September 2018, folks. We're coming big. This time we're going to raise some money. When you run for office, folks, or you have a friend who's running for office, give them some money, folks. You need some money. Because if you don't have money, you can't do what you need to do. You can't reach out to people. That's what we were lacking last time. Just money. So we're going to get the money this time.
And I just want to remind you guys that in New Hampshire, the people that are funding the races in New Hampshire are the pharmaceutical companies. $880 million over the past 10 years lobbying on behalf of certain companies, on behalf of certain pharmaceutical industries. Like, you don't think we have a problem here? And 880 of us won't come out to vote. But $880 million will help somebody go ahead and push their own personal agenda. So that's why I asked, maybe possibly, who's paying her? Who's paying her to say that we want a meth clinic at Dorchester, at Blue Hill Ave and Columbia Road? Do you want a meth clinic at Blue Hill Ave and Columbia Road? If you know Andrea Campbell, tell her to call me. 617-282-0062. Go rise and call you live.
Hello, this is Miss J calling back.
Hey, baby.
I wanted to tell you, I heard the young lady talking about the park up there. And they already have a methadone clinic up there at the Shattuck Hospital. It's a hospital. And then they also have a study place where a pharmaceutical company is running studies up there. Affiliated with the hospital.
I love you, Miss G. I love you, Miss G.
The whole area is nothing but medical, and it's they have a methadone clinic up there already. If anybody's interested, ride through there and ask do they have a methadone clinic, and they'll find out they got one. And I'm finished with it. While people are sleeping, corporations are busy coming into the community without people even knowing it. And they're doing studies, and they're doing, they have a methadone clinic, and it's up at the Shattuck Hospital. Ride through there and find out.
I love you. You too, baby. You too. Go rise and call you live.
Hello?
Hi, yes, baby. Shut your radio off for me.
Yeah, just did that. Okay, so quickly, couple things. What the guy just said, people do absolutely need to participate in local elections. So everyone's complaining about the election that's going on now, the big election, but truth be told, if we did what we had to do in our towns, we could get people and groom them to put them in higher positions so we don't have those sort of problems. one. Number two, if you have, are there businesses in the area around where that methadone clinic is?
You have stashes. You have the dentist office. You have the clinic across the street.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think they may be able to do a lot as far as pushing back for their business, because they take people, like you guys said, from all over. They flood them into areas, and they say, look at these areas. They're bad. They're low income. They're awful. Like, nobody wants to live here. And then they start with that whole gentrification crap. So, like I said, just push back, have the businesses push back, have everyone push back against the situation. I mean, everyone. The business owners have a say, I would think, right? I think they have a say.
I think so too. And I know Steve from Stashes is very vocal, so maybe somebody need to go call Steve and tell had the Big Easy. The Big Easy is no longer there, baby. The Big Easy left, and now I think it's like a Spanish food spot. But somebody need to go ahead and call Steve and tell Steve that they over here trying to put meth heads behind his store. Because you know Steve don't play no games. That fence go up and stay up all year round when Carnival come, because he don't want them problems. He gonna have them problems if that meth clinic is across the street. So I'll go downstairs, go see if I could go talk to Steve real quick, put a bug in his ear, and find out if he can come out on the 22nd at noon to City Hall. Don't forget, on Saturday, we'll be with Dr. Umar Johnson, Dr. Claude Anderson. Tickets are $30. They're currently on sale on Eventbrite, or you can go ahead and purchase them at the door. They will be more. But come and give me a hug. I love you. I appreciate you. Good rising, Callie alive. You want a meth clinic, or you want the People's Academy?
I need the People's Academy. It's already up there. But I just wanted to call and say that I did call 311 and let them know that I was not in agreement for that methadone clinic coming in Dorchester. So I just wanted to say, for those that do call, you do need to have the exact addresses of where they are trying to put this methadone clinic, because they do ask you that. And they also ask you for contact information, your phone number or an email, and any message that you have to go along with why you're opposed to that methadone clinic to be there.
Absolutely. So let me go ahead. It's 8 Old Road and 14 Ellington Street. It's the intersection of 8 Old Road and 14 Ellington Street. It's directly across from Stash's Pizza, 8 Old Road, 14 Ellington, and there's a school right down the street. There's a clinic right across the street. So I'm not understanding who told Andrea Campbell we wanted a meth clinic in the middle of Dorchester across from Franklin Park. I didn't say that, and everybody who's called ain't said it yet. I ain't heard one person say, yeah, Taylor, we need a meth clinic. You need to get off that girl, Andrea. She just telling the truth. Yeah, I said it. I ain't heard it yet. How about you, baby? Did you tell Andrea Campbell you want a meth clinic? Or did you say you want the People's Academy? Good rising, my love.
Want to say the name of the school that's over there in case anybody wants a better idea. It's Boston Academy Charter, just so they have a better idea of what school's over there in case their children go over there. And also, if you look at Mattapan, you don't see people, asking for money. But lately, if you see the color of those folks that are standing there asking for money, it's slowly getting into the neighborhood. And when they start to say, I wouldn't live in that neighborhood like the other person had said, and, things like that, if we don't do anything now, it's just going to slowly get worse. But thank you, and I hope you have a really good day.
Thank you, baby. Love and appreciate you. Hope you have an amazing day as well. We have one more call on the line, but I don't think the baby knows that they're live. There you are. Good rising, my love.
Yes, I want to say that a lot of people are talking about we don't need that methadone clinic because, like previous callers said before, there is one there at Shannon Hospital. And once again, they just show this comes from the mayor, and it has a lot to do with all these different unions that have all these trade programs. If you have a program here in the hood that is encouraging young people to do something better for themselves, to educate themselves, then you wouldn't have that recruiting program that has with the ironworkers union, the carpenters union, that they have these people where they have to pick and choose who they want to put into their union. So they try to prevent the people in the hood from having something positive. It's the same thing they did when they had that program about having to have that same chemical plant when they didn't want it down by the city hall and all that, and they put it right in the back there by the cemetery by Forest Hill Cemetery right there. A lot of people don't know how dangerous that plant is. They complain about that plant before downtown, but then they put it in, sneak it in right there to the cemetery, right behind that place where they have the gardens and stuff like that. A lot of people don't know we have one of the most dangerous chemical plants right in the hood. Now they want to put a methadone clinic in the hood. No, that's not acceptable at all. We need to get rid of those people. And like the gentleman said before, it has a lot to do with the mayor, not only just the city council and all that. The mayor runs things, and we need to get him out of there.
I love you, and I need you. What can I do to make you see that you're the only one? I love my callers. I love every single last one of you. I don't have to say nothing. 311, call 311. Call Andrea Campbell. I put a number on Facebook. I'm about to ask Wu Tran, Anessa, Ayana, Mike Flattery, Campbell, Jackson. I'm about to ask them, who told you we wanted a meth clinic in the hood? Who told you that? Who said it? Snitch. I'm going to take these other calls. Get right and call you live.
Good morning. I just wanted to quickly say there's also a proposition to have a methadone clinic on Freeport Street. I work in the area. I don't live in Boston, but I work in the area. And about maybe a month and a half ago, I've seen several people like running down the street eating. I asked them like, what's going on? They were informed the day of or the day before that they had this particular day to reach out and protest this clinic from being constructed on Freeport Street in the Field Corner area. And their biggest complaint was they only had 1 day notice. So
hold on, only 1 day's no. So one of the things, I've said this to the mayor's face. The mayor and I sat down. There was a conversation. There is not enough transparency. There is not enough communication. Our airwaves are open all the time. But yet we aren't having these conversations on Big City 101.3 FM. We're not talking about the real things that need to happen. We need conversations that aren't scripted, wrapped around what you want us to think positively about. We have issues and problems that need to be addressed, and I'm gonna need for you to come to the mirror and face this reality that people are dealing with. And you know, Anonymous went ahead and said in the inbox, Tayla, ask him if he want a meth clinic across the street from his house. He know the people. He want it there.
and the thing is also, besides just radio, there need to be flyers out because a lot of people don't listen to the radio. They listen whenever they get the opportunity to, and they could miss that message.
Absolutely. But there also could be Facebook posts, because when they want to sit here and promote the fact that the police department giving out ice cream, that's all over the place.
Yeah. All right, you guys have a good day. I'm on my way to work.
I love you, baby. I love you. Good rise and call you live. Hey, baby.
Well, I've got a question. How do they choose these locations, and who's in charge of basically you know what I'm saying, for them to vote on?
I got you. Who should? I don't have the answers. My name's not Sway, so I don't have that answer. But if anybody knows, 617-282-0062. I want Andrea Campbell to call. I've been waiting for her to call. I want her to call. And if she don't call now, I'll go ahead and put my phone number out there. She can call my phone. Well, actually, she could email me at TaylaAndre.com.
And that's my question. If all these people is coming out of town with their issues and, you know what I'm saying, with their problems, why are they not putting
Hey, Judah, that's a good one. Where we just pop up on motherfuckers and be like, hey, questions. We'll see if it can happen. We recently did it to the commissioner. I think that would be dope if we went ahead and did that.
So I can add to more problems. You got enough problems of our own. Now you're bringing other people's problems onto us. You know what I'm saying? Well, you don't fix all the problems, but you got other people, you're giving them more problems than to deal with.
I got you, baby. You ain't the only one. We're all feeling it. Blue Hill Ave, Columbia Road, right behind Stashes. They want to put a methadone clinic. You want to know who's been trying to get that property? T. Michael Thomas, the People's Academy. The let us sit here and train people. The let us sit here and show people how to make $35 an hour. The component that teaches, that allows, what? You're 18? You didn't finish high school? Come here. Let me train you how to do something with your hands. T. Michael Thomas was on Martin Marvels on was it the History Channel? Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it was the History Channel, Martin Marvels. And I wish I was good with my hands, because I would be there working with copper and making jewelry with copper, fixing buildings with copper, being able to live anywhere in the world and still make money because I know how to sheet metal. I think that's the right way to call it. I'm with T. Michael Thomas. I'm with the People's Academy. They're having a hearing at City Hall on the 22nd at 12 p.m. Be there. If you can't be there, 311 it. If you can't 311 it, go ahead and send an email. Baby, there is no excuse. If you can call 617-282-0062, you can call Andrea Campbell and say, I'm sorry, baby. Who told you I wanted a methadone clinic right behind a clinic, right down the street from a school, right across the street from a zoo, and behind Steve Stash's pizza shop? Because you know Steve crazy. I don't know if y'all know, but every single time Carnival come, he put that fence up, and then I guess he forget because he leave it there for a few months. And he don't want nobody in his parking lot. Tayla can't park there. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Why he can't park in the damn parking lot? Because it's his, and it's his lawn, and it's his property, and he don't want nobody on it. So somebody need to tell him about it. Boo, you about to have a meth clinic in your backyard. How you feel? I bet you go down to City Hall now. 617-282-0062. Andrea Campbell for D4. You ain't for D4, baby, because if you were for D4, you wouldn't be asking for a methadone clinic in the middle of D4. Good rising, caller, you're live.
Good rising.
How are you doing, baby?
I'm doing good, baby. Well, I think you know what the problem is. Everything you're saying is beautiful, Taylor, but we have to, really get down with, what Dr. Claus want to talk about this weekend. You can call 311, you can do this rally and all that, but that's not going to change it. You got to take, that economical strength and power base to get what you want. White supremacy only, respects a few things, and it respects money, and it respects, returning that money into death. If you don't do those two things, nothing's going to change. What we're trying to fight right now has already been pushed through. It's already been pushed through. Sad to say.
Hold on. We still have until the 22nd. We still have time.
No, you don't, Taylor. That's what they want you to think you have time. You got to understand, money makes things go. So the pharmaceutical companies, these are all the same thing they do, or they just give you the same outline. There's a hearing, there's a rally, call this number. It's already been pushed through. So what we got to understand is that you take your money within your community and you build what you want to build. You don't ask for permission. You don't do it like that. And Dr. Claude will speak on that this weekend. But it's sad to say that we don't understand that. Everything's business. Business is what rules politics. Politics doesn't rule business. Everything we do is a business structure. And we got to understand that.
So it's not going to be conducive for me to go ahead and chain myself to the building so they can't bulldoze it, right?
That won't be conducive. What will be conducive is saying that, hey, we want to help TaylaAndre get her own radio station where she can have power to, her message can go farther and stronger and longer. Those are the things you take. You take money from your community and you build your base. You build your own this. You build your own that. You don't go and ask your, oppressor to help, because that's what his job is. The pharmaceutical companies have billions and trillions of dollars to lobbyists and all that good stuff. That's how the game is played. It's not played by rallying and hitting 311. Like the young brother said it was going. That's why he lost. Not because he's not a good person. You have to have the money structure to build your platform. We, as people in our low-income communities, we have no platform. We own 1% of 0.5% of world money across the planet. Remember that. We own 1% of 0.5%. So, before you think you can change anything, grasp your mind on that. Melanated people on this planet own 1% of 0.5% of the world finance. So that's why you always be a slave. That's why you always will be kicked back to communities, and that's why you never have a word to say, because you have no one to call. You have no on. You have no say.
I love you so much. Team, go get it.
You better believe it.
Love and appreciate.
We got to understand business. Business runs everything. There's no such thing.
If it ain't about the money.
If you understand the business side of it and how that money works and follow the money, then you will always be last. Always. Always.
That's a hard truth to swallow, but I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to go ahead and read some of these Facebook comments. Charlene, shout out to Charlene. She said, across from 1010 Mass Ave, there are feces and needles in the field where children play. There is no containment and children are being exposed. Judith said, they need to put it somewhere else. They act like all the black people do is take drugs. There are more white folks on drugs than black people. Judith also said they are trying to wipe out the black race everywhere and make this a one-world society. Tanya said the schools should be fighting for their students as well. Mike, shout out to Big Mike. He said, there are at our practice field and we complain and we got to go early to make sure the kids are safe. Now the police are sitting out there every now and then, but it's still a huge problem. Is that the old mobile gas station? Yes, it is. Andrea Campbell this is from Judith, is Andrea Campbell receiving kickbacks? And somebody said, of course she is. Big Mike said, hell yeah, that's why people need to vote. Judith said, they seize you and sell you a dream to get them to elect them. And when they get in position, they change all for themselves. If she cared about black folks, she would try to make the place a little bit more equal to the town, make them move it to somewhere equal like a town of Newton or Wellesley. She's receiving kickbacks. Somebody said, what's on the back of the shirt? Shout out, Wake Up with Tayla, Team Wake Up with TaylaAndre. In the back say, I forgot what it says because I can't see my back. But I'm with Judith. Judith wants us to just go and show up at Andrea's office today and go Facebook Live and be like, unscripted with TaylaAndre. Gotcha. The mayor and some of the city councilors has been brought to their attention. Get Elizabeth Warren involved. We need to push back. I bet you Donald Trump wouldn't allow a meth clinic over there. They need to give out scholarships instead of focusing on drugs. Truth of the matter is, I'm with Steve. Steve was the last caller who just called in. He said, unless you have your finances right, unless you have that money right, nothing you say, nothing you do, nothing you think about matters. And the truth of the matter is, he's right. What do you say? 1% of 0.5% of all of the world's finances. We own 1% of 0.5% of all of the world's. That's insane. That don't even sound right. Good rising, caller. You're live. I'm super fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing as best as I can. If I could make a comment about an incident that happened about a methadone clinic in Somerville.
Go on, baby. Go on.
Well, I am an officer, and I work for a company that will remain unknown. But my fellow co-worker as an officer who we were working at a construction site called the Partners Healthcare Building that's right there at Assembly Road. Now, the building is finished, but before it was finished, last winter, my partner had gotten attacked while I was working. And usually when we pair up, we pair up to protect the perimeters. There's a methadone clinic down the street from Assembly Road, like right when you go underneath the bridge to the Cambridge side, right where Sullivan Station is. That methadone clinic had 2 men breach the gate. When they breached the gate, they had knives on them. And my sister almost got killed that night. And it had happened, I believe, it had happened somewhere around March, February. And there's an incident report and there's a police report just to back it up. Right there where the new Partners Healthcare Building was, there's a methadone clinic down the street from Grand Union Avenue. And believe me, that was a real situation. They were looking for copper because copper is very valuable. And so around like 99, Route 99, there's a place that takes metal in exchange for money. So we knew exactly what they're looking for, what's offered, and they're using it so they can sell it, so they can get drugs. And it's a real situation having a methadone clinic around. Believe me, if one officer almost got attacked and killed, it's very serious to have in the neighborhood.
Thank you, baby. Thank you. So what we're gonna do really quickly is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna call Andrea Campbell. That's what we're doing right now. I know it's 7:30 in the Horizon, but we're gonna call Andrea Campbell. We're gonna leave her a voicemail. Us together, one together, all of us. You down? You with me?
Boston City Councilor Andrea Campbell. Please leave a message with your name, address, and phone number, and we will get back to you shortly.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Good rising, Andrea Campbell. My name is TaylaAndre, and I'm calling on behalf of D4, District 4, the district in which you represent. And we are currently live on Big City 101.3 FM. Literally, we are live. This is a live recording. And we are wondering why T. Michael Thomas just called Big City 101.3 FM and told us that you went ahead and stood before your peers and told them that your people, your constituents, D4 community members want a methadone clinic in their backyard. Please tell me how this is okay when we have a school right down the street, when we have a clinic right across the street, and when we have a Franklin Park Zoo that we do not need nor want needles in or around. And don't you think that we should have a methadone clinic where meth is prevalent? Not here in Dorchester where Blue Hill meets Columbia Road, but maybe in Wellesley, maybe in Newton, maybe where all of those drug addicts are coming from, and send them back to their hometown. So I've been calling out your name for a good portion of the rising and asking you to call 617-282-0062 so that you can help us understand why you told your peers, your colleagues, that your constituents want a methadone clinic in their backyard. We don't want a methadone clinic, Andrea Campbell. What we want is T. Michael Thomas's People's Academy. Some of the questions that came up today was, who's paying you? Who's lining your pockets? What kickbacks are you receiving? Please give us a call, 617-282-0062, tomorrow between the hours of 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. so that the listeners can hear you. Because really it's not about me, baby. It's about the listeners. It's about your constituents, about those people that voted you into office. Charles Yancey would have never said my people want a methadone clinic in their backyard. With that being said, if you wish to contact me personally, you can go to TaylaAndre.com, TaylaAndre. Go to the Contact Me Now, and we can communicate through email. Or you could just call the people tomorrow because the people would like to hear your voice. The people want to confirm that those words came out of your mouth, that they said, that you said that they want a methadone clinic. 617-282-0062, tomorrow rising between the hours of 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. I thank you, I love you, I appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing day today, as I hope there are many people that call and flood your voicemail with responses against a methadone clinic. Mwah. Good rising, caller, you're live.
Hi, I don't want to say my name because I currently...
Anonymous.
I'm a nurse, yes. And to be honest, they never put the clinic in the area because they don't want the people that go to it to be scared to get help. I work in a methadone clinic. Well, I used to work at one that's in Brockton. Not one single client lives in Brockton. They live in East Bridgewater, Fall River, Hopkinton, Beverly, none of them live in Brockton, Dorchester, Boston, but they all have to say, oh, this is not in my area. I would never live in Brockton because of people coming to the clinic. They are not the greatest people to work with, and it's private companies that will not pay people, but they want the pharmaceutical money. Because pharmaceutical money, it's so expensive for a medical client. They pay out of pocket, a lot of them. It's $200 a month or a week for them to just get that 5 or 10 or 30 milligrams of methadone, whatever they're getting. And it's just, at this point, they're not going to stop. They're going to put more. There's already one in Cass and Shattuck. There's already enough in Boston, but they're not going to stop it, to be honest. They're going to say this is an epidemic that's going around, and they need to stop the epidemic. And it's unfortunate, but Boston doesn't need it anymore.
Wow. Thank you, baby. Thank you for sharing your truth. Thank you for sharing that. We would not have had that information had you not called. We thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. And we got to understand. I want to give a shout out to Mustafa. Mustafa said, I live in the community where they are talking about putting the clinic in. Our community traditionally has a very low voting turnout. There is a correlation between communities with low voter turnout and communities that get targeted with things that are bad for the community. The politicians don't get in office because of the black vote and black dollar, so why would they be loyal to our needs or our wants? Until we put our money and our votes behind them, they are not going to be for us. Janelle said, yes, girl, you called her live. I love you. V from Tennessee said, Tayla is raw and I love it. What it is I'm sick and tired. My son plays at the field for the Bengals where those needles are. I can't tell you how many needles my son told me he saw. Why do I have to have a conversation with a 13-year-old about make sure you don't step on a needle? Make sure when you're tackling, you be mindful of the needle. Like, that's not something you need to be mindful of at all, period. Anywhere. Anywhere where you play. Will said, that meth clinic has been there forever because it's a methadone mile, 1010 Mass Ave, and anything around it is a mess and has been for the longest. Y'all already know my show from 5 to 7, so I'm 34 minutes into it, and I need to go. Because the Good Life Morning Show about to come on and give y'all the coffee. But before y'all can even get the coffee, I needed to give you the truth. Wake the hell up and figure out what's going on in your community. Because he's absolutely right. The communities with the lowest turnout of voters is, y'all don't care. Y'all don't care, so I can do whatever I want to do. You ain't going to cry, you ain't going to moan, you ain't going to itch. That itch that's right in the middle of your back, you just going to take it. So why should I sit here and care about you and care about your feelings? When y'all don't care about yourself to even get out and vote on what you don't want, on the people that you don't want. And I'm with Anonymous who said Yancey would have never put a damn methadone clinic in the middle of the hood. He would have never. And I told y'all a long time ago when Andrea Campbell won that seat, I understood that you guys wanted a new face. I understood that you guys wanted something fresh. I understood all that. But what you didn't understand is that Charles Yancey been playing this game for a long time. And the reason why Mattapan ain't turning out like Roxbury is because Charles Yancey ain't having it. They didn't want to hear his voice no more. And that's why Andrea had all that money pushed behind her. Where that money come from? Y'all keep thinking this is a game. This is real life. Do not forget, do not forget, do not forget the 22nd at 12 p.m. If you can't make it, call 311. I understand Steve said, Tayla, it's already done. It's already done. But guess what? That pipeline in North Dakota was already done until hundreds of thousands of people started showing up and showing out and saying, hey, this sacred land, we ain't having that. That's what we need to do here in Dorchester. And say, hey, this is sacred land. We got enough of this nonsense around our neighborhood. We don't want no more. So figure it out. And Andrea, can you please stand up? Because we want to put somebody else in your seat. You don't represent me, baby. Please stand up. Please stand up. Please stand up. Because we're going to go ahead and have a special election and go and replace you. Because we can't. We do not want you there. If you think for 5 seconds that we want a methadone clinic, apparently you don't understand the needs of your constituents. You don't want your job, do you? I want my tax-paying dollars back. Thank you. And she does not know this yet, and I have not received a text message yet, so she ain't been listening to the show. She might be late. Faith's Natural has now a home for the Pum Pum Wash, 66 South Street is where she is located, right down the street from Forest Hills. My baby has a Pum Pum Wash location. Faith's Naturals, Face with an S, Naturals with an S, beauty.com. If you go online and order any of the products online, you'll be able to get free samples. She now has the Buddy, and a Pum Pum Wash. So the Pum Pum Wash been out, now she got the Buddy Wash. I'm so excited. Don't forget the body scrub and the shampoo and the conditioner and Anari's favorite deodorant. From the foot scrubs to the body scrubs to the sensual oils that smell like Freaky Friday. I want to give a huge shout out to my Auntie Mary, my Uncle Georgie, and my cousin Gina. I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. There is nothing more important than family. There is nothing more important than those that you give your love to, that you surround yourself with. And I just want to tell everybody that you are my family. I do love you. I appreciate you, and I hope you all have an amazing day. I want to play this song because I feel like we are currently in solidarity with what's going on in North Dakota. We have issues, we have problems, and the only way that we can solve our issues, the only way that we can solve our problems is if we start getting up and using that thing called our voice in a means of our vote. I know you feel like your vote doesn't matter. I know you feel like no one is listening, but I promise if you get up, get out, and get something and vote, you will and you can make a difference. You will and you can make a difference. We have to vote, baby. We have to get out in record numbers. We got to go ahead, whatever you believe in. If you want to put Bernie's name in, put Bernie's name in. If you want to put John Fitzgerald Johnson's name, put his name. You have the right to vote, and you have the right to vote for somebody that you actually believe in, not because it's the lesser of two evils. This is the United States of America. This is not a dictator. We do not have, it may seem like it. It may seem like it, but you do have choices. And there are a total of 30 independent candidates that are out here that are running and fighting for us. So we have to do everything we possibly can do to make sure that neither Hillary nor Trump get into office. We need to understand there are 30 other people that want and need our vote, that want and need our support. We cannot put these evil bastards in office and give them the key to the land. Because either way, we screwed. Trump or Hillary, either way, we are equally screwed, y'all. And if you don't understand that, then you really don't understand what's going on in the United States of America. I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. I am TaylaAndre. You are listening to Waking Up with TaylaAndre. And I would give you the times, but we were right over the time. I just might as well say from 5 to 8, because that's what we did today. Call 311, call Andrea Campbell, call the mayor, call your at-larges and ask them, why the hell are you letting this happen? Why is this even an option? That should be the question today. Why is a methadone clinic across the street from a clinic, down the street from a school, even an option?
Like the way it is right now with us, with the water situation, is because anything could happen, and it's like, what if they come in and try to take us off, and besides that, everybody should have water. I mean, God gave it to the land, and we have a right to
Takwa, I'll do that.
The United States government. We've got a bigger point
I'll do that.
Saying,
Takwa, not inbox me. Call me in about 10 minutes. Because I have a favor that can put some money in your pocket.
We're talking about honor. We're saying, you've never dealt with us honorably, United States, ever. And it's time that you start doing so, because we're not going to allow it to continue. We can't. Problems for the Indian people are within the United States government. Problems that we're having is the federal government is allowing the state government to break a treaty that was signed between the Indians and the Indian people and the federal government. And that treaty is a law. We're talking about things like this. We're talking about, if we're free, we want the right to make our own decisions. We don't want the great white father image anymore looking down on us, making the decision for us. And we're concerned about people, the reservation people on reservations that are being forced to assimilate or die out. We're worried about things like our language and our culture. And we want this on our own terms. We don't want to be able to hang on to it because the federal government says we can keep this much and we can keep that much. It's part of us. We want it all.
when the oil starts to spill,
then it will desecrate the land.
These companies don't care because it's all part of the plan. 7th generation and the future's in our hands. The reason that we fucking is because this is our lifeline. Looking at these workers screaming fuck you in your pipeline. Oh, they don't care about the women, they don't care about the children. So what will make you think that they will care about your feelings? They trying to pay us off, trying to rob us with these royalties. I went down before, let my knees suffer from an oil leak. They don't realize the chemicals beneath the soil weak. Then it won't be long for the grass turns brown and the rivers turn black. Rivers turn black, so leave it in the ground, back it up and turn back. This ain't about economy, this ain't about race. This ain't about the money or another court case. The one that gives us life again, then they go to waste. They call us protesters, but they don't understand we defenders and protectors. Praying that Chicago will watch us and protect us. The government is hoping that we give them and surrender. They hate to see our native nations gathering together. This is more than just a story, this will always be remembered. We got the whole world watching, we don't need CNN, we don't need Fox News, we'll be fighting till the end. When's the last time this country honored a treaty? Our children gonna suffer while the high-class kids go to school and eat the weenies. If this line gets finished, then our water will be ruined. The general population never saw us as a human. Obama said that he would help us out, but where they at though, they want us all gone, man. That's a fact, bro, they still a blockade, but we headed on the back road. Forget about the president and governments, the nemesis, the cops are feeling threatened, they remove us from the premises. All of us some oil in a couple billion Benjamins. Hey man, it's nothing new. Our people been fighting for generations now. We've been here. We ain't going nowhere. People need to wake up. This ain't about money. This is about the future generation. This is about the children right now. Shout out to everybody in Standing Rock. Shout out to all the tribes that came from across the nation. Shout out to Chairman Archambault. Shout out to all my Standing Rock family. Shout out to all the natives across the nation. Shout out to Shailene Woodley for standing in solidarity with our native people. Shout out to all the celebrities who are supporting the movement. Shout out to everybody across the world who is supporting the movement. Shout out to everybody who is listening right now. Ain't nobody moving till this is over. We ain't going nowhere, we still here. Native Tribe 365.
This next story is so unbelievable, we didn't think it could possibly be true. But after receiving thousands of records and declassified reports from the Army, it's confirmed that during the Cold War, the United States military conducted secret tests on unsuspecting people in the city of St. Louis. A local sociologist will make her findings public tomorrow, but she spoke first to the I-Team's Lisa Zigman.
Lisa Martino Taylor's life work has been to uncover details of the Army's ultra-secret military experiments carried out in St. Louis and other cities during the 1950s and 60s.
This center is secretive for a reason. They didn't have volunteers stepping up and saying, yeah, I'll breathe zinc cadmium sulfide with radioactive particles.
These Army archive pictures show how the tests were done in Corpus Christi, Texas in the 1960s. In Texas, planes were used to drop the chemical, but in St. Louis, the Army placed chemical sprayers on buildings and station wagons. City officials were kept in the dark about the tests. The Cold War cover story was that the Army was testing smoke screens to protect cities from a Russian attack. The truth, according to Martino Taylor, was much more sinister.
It's pretty shocking. The level of duplicity and secrecy. Clearly, they went to great lengths to deceive people.
By making hundreds of Freedom of Information Act requests, she uncovered once classified documents that confirm the spraying of zinc cadmium sulfide. The greatest concentration of this compound was sprayed near the Pruitt-Igoe housing complex just south of downtown St. Louis. It was home to 10,000 low-income people, and an estimated 70% were under the age of 12. Martino Taylor claims they all unknowingly inhaled this compound morning, noon, and night, so the government could measure its effects on their lungs.
So this was in violation of all medical ethics, all international codes, and the military's own policy at that time.
In 1994, then Congressman Richard Gephardt asked the Army to open its records and explain the St. Louis testing.
We want to make very sure that nothing went on that would harm anyone and that all the facts are out on the table.
Documents released in the 90s show the Army placed sprayers on this former Knights of Columbus building on Lindell and in Forest Park. The Army always insisted the chemical compound was safe. Martino Taylor believes documents prove otherwise.
There's a lot of evidence that indicates that people in St. Louis, in the city, particularly in minority communities, were subjected to military tests that was connected to a larger radiological testing project.
For the first time, she links the St. Louis testing to a company called U.S. Radium, a company notorious for lawsuits involving radioactive contamination of its workers.
The United States Radium had this reputation where they had been found legally liable decades prior for producing a radioactive powdered paint that killed many young women who painted fluorescent watch dials.
While the Army admits it added a fluorescent substance to the zinc-cadmium compound, details of whether it was radioactive remain secret. Documents uncovered to date indicate the Army never conducted follow-up studies to see whether the compound caused long-term health issues. In 1972, after years of crime, poverty, and decline, the government destroyed the Pruitt-Igoe housing complex. Lisa Zigman, News Channel 5, I-Team.
Now, the company U.S. Radium no longer exists. Martino Taylor has placed all of her research, including the declassified documents, online and will link you to that data at ksdk.com. Now, she will make all of her findings public tomorrow at St. Louis Community College campus.
This is old, so you can Google it.
If you remember the spraying, the I-Team's Lisa Zigman would like to hear from you. You can email
We've got a bit of an unusual situation. Now, this first portion of the radar cycle, fairly bland and typical, but then you see these bands of very distinct cloud cover moving into the region. That is not rain, that is not snow, believe it or not. Military aircraft flying through the region is dropping chaff. Small bits of aluminum, sometimes it's made of plastic or even metallicized paper products, but it's used as an anti-radar issue, and obviously they're up there practicing. Now, they won't confirm that, but I was in the Marine Corps for many years, and I'll tell you right now, that's what it is. 50 in Medford right now, 48 in Wairika, 42 in Klamath Falls.
You know what it is? It's DJ Plus One, the feature presentation. Listen, make sure you wake up with TaylaAndre Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 a.m. on Big City 101.3 FM. Wake up with the radio rebel. Politics, news, conspiracies. Wake up with your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. This is the type of stuff I'm into, alright? Make sure you tune in. Let's go.
I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you guys have an amazing day today. I play that over and over and over, and will continue to play it over again because I want you to understand that Pruitt-Igoe may have happened in the 60s, but just as we heard the man talking about the spraying of things that actually are coming up on radar. That's not rain, that's not snow, that's your motherfucking government dropping shit on you just like they did with Pruitt-Igoe. They didn't go back and see what the side effects were, what the long-term effects were, but they are spraying you on a regular basis. And today is called chemtrails, and so, you know, the government covers up and calls them contrails, but the truth of the matter is every single day we are breathing in cancer-causing carcinogens and wondering, oh my God, what the fuck's wrong with us? And yet we're not having the answers to our questions, because if you listen to the report, I'll play it again tomorrow. She says that during this time, it was illegal for them to do what they were doing. During this time, it was illegal for them to be spraying you without your consent. What about today? Where's the investigative journalism done today that says, you know what? We went ahead and rented a plane, and we were underneath the plane that was spraying some weird stuff. We went ahead and grabbed some of the particles out of the air. We tested them, and zinc oxide and this and that and that and this is all in your air. Congratulations, you're soon going to have cancer. I wake up every single day, most of the time late. I'm going to be transparent. I wake up every single day to do nothing more but to educate you. To do nothing more but to open your mind, and for me to do nothing more but for you to question anything and everything that you were ever told ever in your life. Whether it's by your government, whether it's by your parents, whether it's by your pastor, whether it's from Jesus himself, I want you to question everything. Everything. I want you to be like a child and start thinking like a child and question everything. But why? But why are you spraying me? But why are you putting a meth clinic in the middle of the hood? But why did Andrea Campbell have millions of dollars backing her? But why? And Faith Naturals is calling, so let me go ahead and tell her that she got the building. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Mwah. Hi, Faith.
Hello?
Hi.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. We've got the shop. I'm like, I heard when you said it and I just felt I was like bawling. Oh my God.
Good. So she contacted me yesterday. They want to meet you Wednesday night, and yes, you can move in by October 1st. But they want to meet with you Wednesday night, and I didn't tell you yesterday because I wanted to tell you live on air.
Yeah, and I'm like fumbling. Oh my God. The whole time, like I was just crying. Like I couldn't think of. I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Wow. Because I heard he's like, Faith doesn't go this year. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like looking at my kids, like my son and my mother's already gone. I'm like, we got the shop. I'm like, we got the shop. And my husband is calling like, you got the shop. I'm like, what? Oh my gosh. I'm like so happy. I can't even describe to you how happy I am.
I know, Faith, I know.
Thank you so much, Tayla.
I love you so much. The Pum Pum Wash has a home.
I know, but oh my goodness. Like a bloody rush. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah, this is real life.
Like, oh my God, I'm going to have to go move into that guy's apartment.
No, baby, we got you. You want to know what I'm so excited for? I'm so excited for the grand opening. I'm so excited for the little wine spritzers and the little martini glasses. And I'm excited for how much you're going to make at the grand opening.
So, oh my gosh, I can't even. I don't know I'm going to work today. I don't know. I'm telling my mother-in-law, like, I got to go because I'm going to have a heart attack. So I'm like, we got the shop. She's outside. I'm like, we got the shop. And she's like, oh my God.
So you know what that means? You know how much product you have to make for the grand opening?
Tell me about it.
So are you going to work this week?
Well, Wednesday's my last day. So I was like, we have to have lunch.
Okay, good. I got you. We're going to ZC.
Yeah. I think they're having something there at 2 o'clock. I was trying to get out there at 12, but they're having a one-way party for the channel. So I'm like, yeah, just meet and then go to eat. These afterwards, oh my gosh, you have no idea. Oh, I love you so much.
I love you.
Kiss you and everything. I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, I am so blown away. Oh, it was worth the wait.
It was. So I'll find out what time is best for her and you, and we'll go ahead and set something up for Wednesday. I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud for you.
Oh my gosh, you can't even imagine. Oh, like my heart is like, oh my goodness. It's just like one of those feelings. You're like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
I already found my countertop. Like I already found stuff. I'm gonna have my countertop.
You have everything good.
Oh my God.
So I'm gonna go ahead and tie up some loose ends at the studio, and I'll call you back.
Okay, love.
All right. Bye. I love what I do. I love what I do. Big City 101.3. I am TaylaAndre. I thank you. I love you. And I need you. What does it say? Oh, Radio Rebel.